And welcome back. Today is the day for the third episode of the Revolution Ashes in Russia. And with me today are, hey, this is Malik, this is Jens below me. Say hey.
Hello.
And just in time, there's first Eelco from Phoenix Ashes. And there's Harry. Say hello, Harry.
Hello, Harry.
Always following the rules. And then there's Nienke, and they're just getting set up.
Not that much.
Hello, Nienke, can you hear us?
We can't see you.
Hey, there she is. In-ear monitoring is the same for musicians every time.
Hello.
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 Okay, so everybody muted their Instagram.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow.
We didn't. How do you do that?
Yeah, I told you, the URL thing, there's a little loudspeaker that you click.
Yeah, I can't see it. Man.
In Safari, I don't know what you're using.
Safari. That's the funny thing. I'm just going to refresh that little button there. And
Okay,
I guess if I click that.
So, who is Aries online? And Grüße vom Meier. Aha, Herr Eichhorn. Olja is back. Hello to Russia. And Arian, of course. Steffen, Dennis. Hey. Ah, this is gonna be fun. Schwackenrami. Okay, so did you find the mute button?
I didn't. I cannot find it. Buddy.
Honestly? I'm gonna send it to you.
I swear to God. I don't know what I'm doing.
So we rehearsed this for half an hour, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
yeah,
I sent you a little picture in Skype, and then you can see.
Oh, there! Oh,
my goodness.
Damn, yeah. It's difficult. Oh man.
He is a drummer in the end.
Schneller.
Gif maar.
Schneller.
You do it.
Schneller.
Schneller. Ja.
Yeah,
Wir müssen den Weg überstecken, Junge.
So, did you guys watch episode 1 and 2? What do you think?
It was great. I thought it was brilliant. You thought it was brilliant?
Ik hoor jou niet.
It's us, so of course. I mean.
So, what is with Nienke? Nienke has issues. You're sitting beside her. She needs.
Well, I mean, like we're sitting right next to each other, but because we've got in-ears in, we can't hear each other talk. That's a bit silly.
So maybe only put one.
Yeah, but then it's an hour. Well, that'll do.
Ik hoor jou echt niet.
Sorry?
Hi. Hey.
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 So, still looking for that mute button.
We don't have that mute button that you have.
Tja, that's white privilege. So sorry. Not even my racist comments? Come on. Nothing works with you. What's going on there?
I don't care.
I think they use a Chrome browser, and there you don't.
No, dude. No. We
have Safari.
We're using Safari.
But there's no button like you showed us.
9.
Maybe it's a very old Safari.
No, it's a new laptop, man.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
I don't know either.
Had het zou hier moeten staan.
Yeah. Oh wait, what does that button do?
Ilko feiert. Hey Ferdi.
Yeah, Ferdi is there.
How is Ferdi doing? Because I said he had a little operation, and I think he still said, okay, I'm gonna watch the show. I'm not gonna be on the show, maybe next week. So he's more like, okay, gute Besserung, Ferdi.
Is he at home, by the way?
Yeah, he's at home, I guess.
Cool.
Ferdi, you can write yourself. Duurt lang. Yeah. That's.
Yep. So let's start.
Yeah.
Just talk, man. It's cool. Forget it. I can't figure it out.
You can't even.
Maybe you have to make the window wider or something.
It's all the way big now, isn't
that's it? Oh.
This is
That's
actually
exactly what
funny.
I had. It is for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is professional stuff, of course, you know.
Maybe take
Waar
Chrome.
moeten we heen? Je moet naar dat live gebeuren.
Yeah, that is it.
This is Dutch. They are speaking Dutch. That's because they are Dutch. Yeah.
Sorry.
We don't have that knopje.
Button.
Yeah,
Wir haben der Knöpfchen nicht.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, but literally, like, check your app, man. We took a picture. Oh, there's another picture.
There's just a button for me.
Yeah,
So-
exactly that, what you've sent, we don't see at
So
all.
anybody out there, can you, Technik die begeistert, can anybody tell them what to do? Like Ilko, you use that stuff in Dutch.
I have no idea. I would just start and
Yeah.
Just close the browser, then you can see what we are talking, but you have Skype running, so it's fine, I
Yep.
think.
Yeah,
No,
just
then
go.
they can't see the episode. They can't see anything.
True.
Can you try Chrome? Ilko, what are you thinking?
Or we will see it on the iPhone.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah, but
Just
then you can
watch it on the
hear
iPhone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then they
we'll
have
do
no
that.
audio.
Headphones.
Yeah, but they have. Can you replug your in-ears to the iPhone?
Yeah, but if they watch it, dude, if they watch it on the iPhone, they can just watch it on Instagram, man.
Yeah, but we don't want the echoes of that.
Yeah,
On
we
the
will
stream.
watch it on the iPhone with
We've got more
yeah.
headphones.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
Yes.
That's it.
cool. Awesome sauce.
Let's do that and let's start.
Okay, go. Everything.
But this is
everything.
the show. There's not much, so much more to start. I would like to know what you guys remember from maybe the first two episodes. It's like you remember there were the old houses and the old Ilko was speaking about the worn down hostel, you know, everything from the outside was like, ooh, okay. And then there was this experience with getting to the first show and there was no one. I mean, chicken.
Yeah.
There was chicken.
Yeah,
There was chicken.
there was chicken and
Chicken.
vodka.
And
I like that.
There was chicken and vodka.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, and I would
There
like
was even vodka with different flavors,
really
Yeah, the red
Yeah.
one, yes.
because
and there was music.
There was music. Yeah.
yeah. So did you enjoy it? Like, how was Ninka? How was it for you? Like, you expected something of coming to Russia, and we also saw that it was kind of hard for you to get through customs first. And Arnold
Yeah.
said he was quite pissed because that was like that felt so unwelcomingly racist. And how was that for you? Like getting into Russia and then the experience of the first days.
Well, I'm kind of used to. Well, every time at customs, they pick me out. I don't know why. Maybe I look like some kind of criminal. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
But
Yes.
yeah, of course I didn't like it. But in the end, it was nice to see you guys all waiting. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you're making problems or getting nervous. Yeah, it doesn't make it better. So yeah, it was all right when we finally got through after 30 minutes or so.
Something silly like that. I think we had to wait half an hour, didn't we, or something?
It was
Like
a
20
while.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's half an hour or something stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then getting on the bus with Yevgeny.
Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene.
It was funny that we didn't even know if he really was our guy. Maybe he could be our murderer, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't know.
We still
It's
don't
like-
know if he was the guy.
Yeah. It's not really certain yet. Yeah.
I thought when we went into the bus that, at least one person was sure, but I think nobody was sure.
Yeah.
No, nobody was.
I don't
No.
know who it was, but one person said, "Yeah, that's our bus. Let's go in there."
Yeah. I think that's after Eugene came up to us like for the second time, said, "Come on, you got to go with me."
Yeah,
You know,
he
like-
was the most convinced.
he was the one. Yeah,
He
yeah.
was very convinced. Yeah,
massively.
that's for sure.
Yeah, and then
We were warned, weren't we, beforehand? Though, just to be honest, we were warned beforehand. It's not like in the Netherlands or like here, shall we say, is like if you walk past somebody on the street, you just look at them and you say, "Hey," or you just smile very nicely. But in Russia, you don't look at people, because it's just like that's what we warned beforehand. And this guy came up to us. He was just like, "Get in the bus." I'm like, "No."
Actually, nope.
It's not going to happen, But then when he came back, we were like, maybe it's our guy.
Yeah.
He was.
And he was, thank God for that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool, actually. I really liked Yevgeny.
Genie. What was his name?
Yevgeny.
Jeff Genie.
Yevgeny.
Ilko, what was your impression of Jeff Janey?
Yeah, well, he was lovely. He was kind of like one of those types where you could imagine him being a whacked off serial killer, right? He was nicely dressed. He was surprisingly sober, and
we think.
Yeah.
We think. And if he wasn't, then he was very good at hiding it. But I mean, the whole bus thing, right? It was that bus that we toured in was actually more of a party bus, right? It had a disco ball in it, right? And stereo system, right? So it was actually supposed to be like this bachelor party bus, and then he'd drive around drunk people at their bachelor party, and that is what he usually did. And now he was driving us around for like 2 weeks in this ultimate party van with no suspension.
Yeah.
And
wooden seats. Or something.
Seats. No joke.
Because,
oh man.
They were really, really hard. That was hard on me.
And you guys, literally, you guys were the lucky ones. Ninka and I, not just because, but seriously, Ninka and I were the really unlucky ones because we didn't. Everyone has, shall we say, that much room for their legs, and we had that much room because there was this huge, metal thing right in front of us. So we were sitting there all the time. And of course we had to sit at the front because Ninka gets car sick, But we're just sitting there all like that all the time. It's crazy. So it was like wooden seats and that sort of thing stuck up against your knees for 10 hours in one go. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's the point. We always went for how many? 7 hours, 10 hours. It was really, really long, and the streets in Russia are really rough. Eri will know. It's a lot of potholes, and even remember we were on a street, and he really literally had to go 20 kilometers per hour or something to just go around potholes all the time, and we were like, wow, we would call it in German Landstraße.
Landstraße.
Yep.
So it's not an Autobahn, but it's motorway. What is that in English? It's the in-between thing. You can go
the highway, the freeway, the
freeways.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And that was full of potholes, impossible. If you go, there was no light. So if you go through that at night, you're just fucked. You're just gonna kill your car in the middle of nowhere.
That's literally driving that van at night would literally be Russian roulette.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But can you remember that one time that we were driving I think it was probably obviously 100 or 90 or 100 kilometers an hour, and then he started slowing down all of a sudden, and all of a sudden he had to stop because he had to make sure that across the freeway there was a train track. And it was the weirdest thing in the world, but it was a train tracks across the freeway, and he had to just look like that basically just to make sure there wasn't a train coming, because there was no whatever you
barriers,
call
nothing,
barriers or anything. Oh, there's no train coming. Then you can just carry on driving 90 again. It was absolutely.
I can't remember that.
No.
I can remember that we on a highway we made a U-turn. Was that in Russia?
No, that was Bali. That was the wrong tour.
Oh,
that was Bali.
What's that?
That was Bali. Because we were driving on the left and we drove over to the left.
I don't know anymore. Oh, okay.
Carry on.
It could be in
But on the Autobahn in Russia, I remember.
It could have happened. Yeah.
I remember that at some point there were there were no lines on the street, no markers, nothing.
Yeah.
And then we had 3 or 4 lanes, kind of, and all of a sudden it got narrower, just because somebody put what are those hats called? The orange, white.
Traffic cones.
The traffic cones on the street. Somebody had it was kind of a building site, but nobody was building anything. But they just narrowed down the street to 1 or 2 lanes, and all the without any, I don't know. People just got it to work. But I thought there must be a fatal accident every day there. because like there are no lights blinking, and if it's dark and you just run into that. It was invisible. I don't know how people do that. Maybe that's where those videos that we all know, you know, the crazy in Russia videos from the dashboard cams. It's just real. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's very, very real.
Yeah.
So Ari says she always has problems at customs as well.
Even though she's Russian. Yeah, because she has pink hair or purple hair.
Ah, yeah.
And that would always give her problems, but then she starts speaking Russian.
Yeah, and then you're in.
Yeah.
And then you're in.
Maybe hopefully. I should learn to speak Russian.
If
Harry can speak a few words.
I can speak Russian, fluent Russian, of course.
Regarding customs, didn't we delete all our crazy pictures from our smartphones before we arrived?
Did we?
Yeah.
And I think even also from the private Instagram or something.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Really?
Because we were afraid that they will look it up and see some
we were
crazy
warned,
pictures.
actually.
Yeah.
We were actually warned.
Were we? Okay.
Yes, because our booker, Dima, he said, because he had problems coming from Russia and going to Europe and back, the Europeans wouldn't do that, but when he came back to Russia, then, funny band pictures like the ones we took later in that sauna is like that could look gay, would give you would really put you in a lot of trouble, and he said just don't just delete that kind of stuff if you can. They're checking it like they didn't with us, but it happened to him.
Speaking of the whole gay thing and everything, we were also beforehand we were warned, like Malik and Arnout, long hair and everything, and we were literally warned, if you walk on the street on the pavement, like put a hoodie on or something, because in some parts of Russia they still see that as guys with long hair are gay and everything, and they're gonna
piercings.
Yeah, tattoos was also a thing, but I mean it was a bit weird there, It's like, oh, we have to walk on the street, or we don't have to. We were going to walk on the street. Let's put a hoodie on just to keep safe. How weird is that?
But Ari will help me next time. I see her.
I will.
Thank you, Ari.
No worries. Look at that.
She wants to do
Harry.
tour manager.
Harry.
Harry, not Harry.
I thought she said Harry.
Yeah, he will help you next time because he didn't last time. It's like
I had to take care of Malik last time. Sorry. Yeah.
I felt so protected. It was wonderful.
Of course.
Yeah. How is talking about tour management, Eri? How did you guys remember Alex?
Alex.
Yeah.
He was a
cool.
really nice guy.
Yeah, I liked him. He was also like, he had the typical angry Russian face, sort of, he was one of those people that if you saw him on the street, you'd like, I'll just cross over,
Yeah.
But if you get to know him, he's great. He had a heart of gold, didn't he?
Yes, I think that's, you knew a little bit because you watched from the first tour, you had, I guess, an impression of the guy, but it's still different when you meet him in person, I guess. But he was just the same heart of gold guy that he was on the first tour, lifesaver, even at times. Last time we talked about the bribery on the train that made him, change because we were in a very shitty... After playing a show, super sweaty, running to the train station, we didn't sleep for I don't know how long, hungry, and then we entered the train, and instead of what we expected, like a sleeping train, it was a very small wagon, with super small seats, basically like the bus, and we were supposed to be in there for 10 hours, and then he just bribed someone to let us in the totally empty first class where you had beds and Wi-Fi and everything, and it cost us like I don't know how many rubles, but it was like €5 each. Yeah. Arnout is online.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Arnout was. He's dining out with Nadine, and he's going to a new restaurant, or actually he's going to a restaurant in Maastricht because they are all opened since last Monday. So that's why he couldn't be here tonight. Mm-hmm. And he even during dinner, he's looking at us.
Yeah. That's he's so jealous. I know he's super psyched to get all the reactions and everything, and see the show later.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something. You guys shipped, or you're supposed to ship, a lot of merch to Eri, to one of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
But like nobody knows about it, or Arian, who is not here today, has all the merch, or what's going on with the merch?
I don't know. I thought I'd go downstairs, and go get the merchandise. But it's not there. I think Arian's got it. I don't know. I mean, Ilko doesn't have it. Arnout never has it.
No, we do have it.
Oh, you do have it. So it's in Germany.
But no. Arnout. So Arjan collected it. Arnout has it. I'm picking it up at Arnout's.
Oh, yay! Malik has all the merch of ours.
That's what I bought in Russia. Yeah.
So we can actually put it on the mail in Germany, so it will arrive earlier. Because if we do that in the Netherlands, then it takes a longer time to actually get there.
That's true.
So guys out there, as you can see, of course, you got to support your favorite bands, and I did. So
isn't that the shirt where Ilko painted the heart in the middle?
Yeah. If you look closely, let me check. Then you can still see it. That was even in Voronezh, I think. Maybe it's even in one of the episodes, because that's the original from the CD, and it was missing on the shirt design. What happened there? But you painted it for me.
Yeah.
For me as well.
Yeah, cool. Of course,
you still owe us €20 for that. Per person.
So, just in general, guys, everybody needs merch. We still have masks. And we still have CDs, and you guys also have CDs. But I was asking you, it's like, show your CDs, but you don't have them, and Arnout has to do the job next time, right?
Yeah. Just give Arnout all the work. He loves it.
Awesome. Talking about all the work, how about we play some music? Because I have a very nice video prepared from you. That's Phoenix Ashes, and you can explain later why the titles of your songs are that long.
Unspoken.
And we're back. What a nice song. What a nice song. Nice video. Ilko, didn't you do the video?
I did the video, yeah. I got a whole bunch of Creative Commons material that I could find that kind of like supported the topic of the song. And I just made the video using all that material. And then, of course, I recorded. So all the footage of us in the rehearsal room was actually recorded with a flashlight and with
super nice
with a smartphone camera. So to get that gritty effect.
Yeah, and also the slow motions. I really like that side because when you do video a lot, then you look at this and you think, wow, that looks so. This dark room and then the slow motions. Arnout's super angry. It's like, yeah. And if you know Arnout, that's
Arnout is always angry.
That's awesome.
He's an angry man.
He was just hungry. That was it.
You kept him in that cellar for 2 days before.
Angry.
Angry,
Yep.
yeah.
Angry. That's super nice. Yeah. What do you think? You want to dive deep into Russia right now?
Yeah.
Jens,
We always want to dive deep into Russia.
Lost my iPad.
Well done, Jens. It was pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
all right. So
Schnauze.
brace yourselves, guys. This is Revolution Ashes in Russia, chapter number 3. My name is Malik from Starter Revolution.
And I'm Arnout from Phoenix Ashes.
This is our first encounter with the real Russia outside of Moscow, outside of the big cities.
We had a 2-hour drive to Obninsk.
So where's the hospital? Here?
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
This is Ilko, singer from Phoenix Ashes. I mean, by the looks of this building, it just looks like we ended up in a horror movie. Open wires, shitty elevators. But funny enough is that the buildings on the outside in Russia, people don't really pay attention or mind that they look shitty as long as the inside is nice, right? But that was one fucked up elevator ride, I can tell you.
Can you push?
Yeah. Yes, of course. You should push.
Hast du schon den McWalk gesehen? Also, dies ist ein McWalk, ein Drive, nur halt zum Durchlaufen. It's stuck.
Where
It's like
are we?
fucking neck. And how do I really pronounce it?
Oblinsk. We are in Oblinsk.
Oblinsk.
We all know that we are in Oblinsk.
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 Like Obelix. Oblinsk. Oblinsk. Mit N. Mit N. Wir in Oblinsk. Oblinsk. Oblinsk.
Oblinsk.
This is science at its best. Obninsk. Ein neuer Recyclinghof wurde kürzlich eingeweiht. Hier in Obninsk gibt es auch neue Gartenbauprojekte. Hier sehen Sie zum Beispiel das neu eingeweihte Sozialprojekt Lovely Gardens. Obninsk. So gerade wurde der neue Zoo eingeweiht. Wait.
Ja. Klasse. Schnappschuss.
I'm so happy we have this on tape, because this was actually the first time that Phoenix Ashes taught us the vocal warm-up routine that we are using before every show up to this day.
I'm really surprised. Why, how, and why did they choose these cities like Noginsk, Obninsk? Because I've never heard about these cities before. I live in Russia, for 26 years. I've never heard about the cities. And Malik said that small cities, big, better shows.
Normally, yeah.
Normally, yes, but these cities is not. It doesn't work. It's too small.
Yeah, so in the end we are gonna play. That's a very interesting psychological.
And so we did.
This was uplifting. It was a first real show, I would say. Even though there were not too many people, it was really fun.
It really was. And the people that were there were really enjoying themselves. We also got burgers in the end, so we were happy campers. Back at the hostel, Ferry and I got really philosophical about Russian life for the common people. We just had a moment.
There might be happy families here.
Yeah.
And, well, maybe they don't know better. And we don't know any better than this. I like to peek into those houses with the lights. Just to see how they are living.
Yeah, there's a Gary Jules song in the head, Mad World.
Did you guys remember any of this?
Yeah.
No.
I remember the hostel.
It was the Kentucky Fried Cellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obnisk.
I can remember that I didn't know which was scarier, taking the stairs or taking the elevator.
Yeah.
Because it both looked scary.
Yeah.
I took the stairs, I remember.
Me too.
Yeah, me as well, because it was just one floor up or something like that.
Years later, I went to Disneyland Paris, or whatever it's called, and they have a haunted house there with also elevators, and this really reminded me of that trip. But
was the flat? I remember the flat was in the end was really nice. So
yeah, but that was
the one
thing
with the old woman living there as a host. Yeah.
Yes, it was like a family lived there, and they had this tiny room, and the rest they were renting out to.
That place.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That was
they
the
just had
second hostel thing, right?
Yeah, they had the 3 or 4 rooms where they just had like shitloads of bunk beds.
Yeah.
And it was like we had breakfast or like something in the living room kind of situation.
I think in her kitchen. I think.
Oh yeah.
Verden is just writing. Oh my God, the owner was so drunk. I can't remember that.
From the venue.
No.
Yeah. I mean, when we got there, they had a party.
From the venue. Okay.
They've had a party the last night, and they were all still very hungover, so they were frying like some form of fried lunch. I don't know what they were frying. I think they've fried everything. But there was this like.
How do you know that?
Yeah. Ferry says that Chef Genie slept in his full Monty. How does he know that?
Okay,
we all knew that was the thing.
Yeah.
Because Yevgeny didn't have any luggage with him, and we were wondering, what is he going to do? Because we were on tour for 2 weeks, and he didn't have any luggage, nothing on the bus. Yep. and no space on the bus because we were filling it with our shit and there was none of his. Yep. And then we found out that basically he just took off his shoes and went to bed. Yeah. And next morning.
So at
so
least
where
the
did
first
the guy?
3 days,
So where did the guy actually leave his shindems then?
Oh no!
Absorb them. But he was never stinky, right? He wasn't like in any way.
No,
he was always pristine. I don't know, like nothing could touch him. Like
he was like MC Hammer.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. Verden is right. We saw him sleep. Yeah. He was just lying there, super silent, never bothering anyone. He was just there. Evgeny.
I think his shindems were refurbished.
Get on with it. Get on with it. Come on.
No, but I still remember the venue though itself was this like apartment building in the middle of the outskirts somewhere, and we played like in the cellar, but then the area around it just looked like just gray flats. There was nothing there except for a 24-hour store that only sold alcohol. And that's it.
Yeah. But what I remember all of a sudden now is that gig, the second gig, was the best gig ever regarding sound. The sound was literally 100% perfect in that show, I think, for both bands. Like you could literally hear every single thing everyone was playing. Like Max drumming when you guys played, Jens, you could hear every bass line, you could hear every guitar line Malik did and Freddie did, and then all of a sudden I remember that now. But then we had the same, obviously, beforehand. I don't know how that happened, but it was like literally the best show.
I mean, that's what we always wanted, like good sound at a show.
I think they had some good. I think they had some good cabinets and amplifiers.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and the room, and so the kind of like the place where we played was this like concrete cellar. So actually, that sound carried quite a bit, and right. So they didn't need that much to make it sound voluminous, and then they just only needed to get like some decent stuff, and then it sounded nice, and everybody enjoyed it, and people went nuts. People were drunk way before we even started playing. Right, so that and we joined after we played.
So what comes to my mind at the moment? Do you remember the bathroom of the flat of the hostel? Wasn't it the very small one, painted in yellow or red or something?
I think
it was
so. Yeah.
Very small.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember like how small.
Yeah, it was.
Claustrophobic.
I have pictures. I think I have pictures.
Yeah,
it was like a toilet for midgets.
Yeah, I don't know. Obninsk, I don't really remember when I was editing the stuff with Arnout. I was like, we were walking the scene and we were taking the funny photos. And if you guys out there are going to revisit the YouTube version of it, it makes much more sense. Then you could see we were quite shocked about how worn down the whole little village. It's not a city, it's a little village is. And even Alex was complaining. Was it in this episode or the next one? He said it's like, those cities of Obninsk, and I've never heard of them, and I'm living for 26 years in Russia. I have never heard of them. They weren't that far from Moscow. It's just they were little villages out in nowhere. So it was a bit.
It was only a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is why we named the episode also We're Not in Kansas Anymore. It's like when you come from Moscow and you still think, okay, it's a big city, you have all the infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit different because it's Russia. But then you get out there and you're really on your own. It's just different. The vibe is different. And also,
I think that is why we made this selfie. It was more like we felt a bit the atmosphere was a bit depressing, and that's why we took the selfie, and it was like we all looked like it was just sad.
I wouldn't say I don't fully agree with that. That was depressing. It was just very colorless. But the people, they were all super nice and psyched to see us, and they were drunk. Yeah, of course. But yeah, exactly. Jens says it.
Yeah, you have to explain the yellow. Not cables. What's the thing where water goes through and shit?
The pipes.
Your phone is off.
Yeah.
The pipes. Yellow pipes.
Pipes, thank you. Isn't it that they... Was it that one? Or am I mixing something up? That the pipes went all through the bathroom? No, it was, I think, a different hotel. I'm mixing that up with a different one. Yeah, because we had one that really... Where they put the hot pipe from one side of the bathroom and put it, you know, through the bathroom to another side of the bathroom. But that means if you're showering with hot water, you would burn yourself sitting down on the throne and stuff like that. It was like super, like, do-it-yourself, super weird. But it wasn't that one. It was, this one was different.
Sounds like Russia.
Yeah. That was Russia, but maybe the other tour. And here, Arjan is saying the sound guy was very professional and took hours to set up. So he took his time, but he knew his job, obviously.
Yeah, at the end, the show turned out super nice, and the people were psyched and excited. I mean, yeah, the area was kind of gray, and Nienke was doing a little what's that called? Crunk dance.
Yeah.
Like the Australian rugby players.
Yeah, it looks like Wreck-It Ralph, but...
But then pink.
Always pink.
Always pink.
Yeah.
But I can remember that show, yeah. It was really cool, and what I really liked about the Russian shows, even if only a few people showed up, they always came and wanted to make selfies with us, and they were always so enthusiastic.
That is how Nienke measures success, the amount of people that want to take selfies with you.
Yes.
So it was a good show. 5 selfies. Yes.
Yay!
And we got 10 selfies today.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know you're in. Completely famous when people ask selfies with you as a rock star.
Yeah. And talking about rock stars, I want to throw in something that I promised the last time. I don't know who it was on the chat. They were asking for how about the Gangnam Style thing, and I said, okay, we can bring that back. We're gonna do it next time. Next time is this time. So prepare, brace yourselves. This is Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮이니 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유 안에 붓혀있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 너무 선호해 낮에 내 노말 끝에 사로운 그 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때려 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버려 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금 맵다는 때까지 가물게 Oppan Gangnam Style Gangnam Style Oppan Gangnam Style Gangnam Style Oppan Gangnam Style Hey, sexy lady Oppan Gangnam Style Hey, sexy lady 성숙해 보이지만 눈뜬 도는 여자 이때다 싶으면 먼것도 머리 부는 여자 가렸지만 웬만한 노출보다 야한 여자 그런 감각적인 여자 너무 선호해 점잖아 보이지만 놀 땐 너는 선호해 내가 되네 완전 미쳐버리네 선호해 저녁보다 서성이 오동보동한 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금 맵다는 때까지 가물게 Oppan Gangnam Style Oppan Gangnam Style.
Annyeonghaseyo! We are Start a Revolution from Germany. We only have one wish.
We would love to open a show for you. What do you think?
Let's make it happen. Bye!
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Yay! Oppan Gangnam Style.
Really funny.
I think Jens is very happy we're not playing that live anymore.
No, because Jens, if you do, then you gotta be the one flapping his balls around.
Who was that?
Yulene is wondering.
Usually like, oh, let's help somebody open the door and flap his dick around. What's going on, man?
It was if you watch the original video side by side with our video, then you can clearly see all the references, because we took a lot of care to basically have the same scenes at the same time. So we built our video as the dark version of the original video. And some of the references only make sense when you remember, if you remember the original. Yeah, but that's, I mean, it was 2012 or something. It's so long ago that people don't remember. You remember the guy in the elevator with the cowboy hat?
Yeah, I do.
Move? That's basically the ball flapping moment.
But I've actually seen that video clip so many times, because Arnout, he did also this version for a friend of his at his wedding.
He did?
Yeah.
I saw that video.
He
That
did a
was
flash
cool.
mob. It was really fun. With all the moves and also with the elevator thing.
Yeah.
So
the elevator
that's
thing,
Makes sense.
the guy in the elevator, we only learned over the course of, producing the video and speaking to people. And the guy is a very famous actor / comedian in Korea, South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his signature move. So he's doing that all the time, so people would know. Also, remember when Psy is in the beginning of the video, he's in a, on a beach in a chair, in a, not lounge chair, but, beach chair thing, and he's drinking something, and there's a little boy, like we had in the end, who's doing the dance, like a very, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, I don't know. He also was famous in South Korean TV. At the time. So there are many celebrities from South Korea. Also the girl on the subway, she's also a famous singer, and there were some boy band famous guys also in there, stuff like that. So of course, outside of South Korea, you wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. We were also only mimicking everything. I mean, yeah.
Where do you get these people?
You mean in the video?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Partially it's a friend of ours. We shot the video in Hamburg, and the production company, they had the idea because they knew the locations. The SM Club is the oldest BDSM club in Germany, in Hamburg. And
of course.
Yeah, I mean, we've had it all. After the war, we didn't have. Then some Johnny knew some of the people, we knew some of the people, and then they even put some flyers out on the universities, like who wants to dance in a music video, and there were 2-3 people. One of the girls was actually from Australia, she is in Australia back again, but she helped for that one day, and I don't know, it was a collective effort.
International defame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Eri also said, "I need that song. Where is it?" It's online everywhere, on Spotify, on YouTube. Feel free to just find it on YouTube. It's not hidden, even though some people think it should be. Okay. Just because we lost some time earlier, we have 1.5 minutes left on this live stream, and then Instagram is going to cut us off. But we just thought we are going to go on. We are going to set up a second live stream right after. So once we're cut off here, just stay on that channel, and we're just going to go on babbling. I wonder about the Russian thing. I had 1 or 2 questions, especially to Harry and Nienke, because how was it now you guys are married with children and all of that stuff, right? But at the time you weren't. And I remember that you were often like cramped in one place, one bed, one chair, I don't know. But we booked extra beds for you, didn't we? It was more like a choice. It's like, yeah, we want to cuddle, but it was like a Russian bed made out of stone, that size. I don't know. I just remember there were one or two occasions where I was like, no, you can't. It's like Harry was staying there, I think sometime at your place or something. We were talking, like us three. Everybody else was already asleep, and we were speaking about some...
Malik was there as well.
It was fun. Like, I felt so protected. Like I said, this tour was amazing for me.
Well, I would not necessarily agree with, because I thought the beds in general were quite okay.
Yeah, no, that was a joke. Yeah. The beds
were
fine.
I get it. Right? Yeah. But despite all the grayness and the situation of how it looked, I really enjoyed it because it has this kind of aesthetic to it that I really appreciated. And
okay, we have to cut because they cut us off.
Yeah, we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, they didn't hear that.
Oh.
Give me a second. Yeah, it's gone already. Before the time, like they're not that precise.
I found some pictures of the venue, of the equipment. So if you want to talk about that.
Show it.
Yeah, wait.
And I already, not already,
Yeah,
I think I know again how the club was called.
Really?
When I show you the picture, I think you remember as well. But I'm not sure. I think it's a name.
Okay.
So, what were you saying? The beds weren't that bad. Yeah, that was just a joke because, like, inside all of the hostels, it was like a good IKEA standard, right? Like that kind of,
Well, the hostels itself, they were often quite, especially from the third day on, the farther we went away from Moscow, the nicer the hostels became. Right? Because especially the one that we were in, that was that like house that we had to ourselves. Where we in Voronezh.
Yeah.
Right, that was actually quite a nice hostel where we had it pretty much to ourselves, except for one room where a couple of other people slept. But most of the time, we were there for 3 days, I guess. We had the place to ourselves, and that was actually quite nice. And it was like in the middle of the village, city-ish thing, and we had a great time, like walking around and doing stuff there. It was actually super nice there.
Yeah, I think it's always a family business, right? And the more you are in a village, then they didn't have to pay high rents in the middle of Moscow or something. But it was their private home. And then maybe sometimes from the outside it was shabby, but from the inside they really took a lot of care of the whole thing. And it looked nice. The kitchens were great. I remember there was a huge kitchen, stuff like that. Yeah, we have had that also on the first tour. That was impressive.
Exactly.
Partially.
Yeah, and I must say, I mean, in general, I thought the state of the hospitality in Russia, especially from the inside, was way better than, for instance, it would be in the UK, right? Where it's in general more tatty and more unkept, and but then again, these were also quite new, of course. So. But it was massive. I thought it was massive fun because if you have the time to kind of like drive around and check it out a bit, like we had for a couple of days, then there's so many pretty things that you actually run into, like that big monastery where we went.
Yeah. The next episode next week, I think we're talking about Voronezh, the way to Voronezh, and playing there, and also a little bit more of the heartland of Russia, a bit more out of the big cities, is really different. And you will be able to see that the next 2 episodes, basically, they will show a lot more. Then Eri was asking how old Harry's and Nika's kids are. And maybe you want to say it, because afterwards people cannot read the chat.
Yeah, our daughter is 2.5. And our son is 1 year old. He didn't get his first anniversary party because of the whole COVID thing, but we will repeat it someday when he will remember.
I wanted to ask you, because around here it seems that people don't they forgot that Corona ever was a thing, and they think it's over, and like they don't know anyone who was affected by it. But you two, the two of you, have been sick, and Nienke, you have been quite severely hit. Maybe you want to tell us how that was for you? What happened there?
Well, yeah. So I work in the hospital, and yeah, we all got infected. I think most of us. And I think for me it was the heaviest if I compare it to the others. So at one point I was just laying in bed, and I couldn't even talk because I couldn't breathe, or I couldn't get enough air. So if I just said only yes or no, then I was out of breath because I needed oxygen. And at one point I called the doctor, and then he wanted to send an ambulance, but I'm a doctor myself, and that's not the best. Like, doctors are the worst patients.
They are.
But still, I didn't want an ambulance to be sent here. So I arranged my cousin, who's also a surgeon, and who I knew she was infected as well, but she didn't have, she only had mild symptoms.
Yeah.
And I asked her to bring me to this COVID department, and there my oxygen got checked, and then I got some medication, and luckily I didn't have to go to the hospital. And and a few weeks later they thought I had a emboli.
Yeah, lung emboli. Yeah,
a lung emboli, but now I'm alive again. So I was, I think I was 22 hours per day in bed for 3 weeks, and after those 3 weeks it took me again about 2 to 3 weeks to get fit again, but now I feel fit.
Yeah, so you don't have any breathing problems, like climbing stairs, or it's like...
Not anymore.
No, not that much. I'm still a bit tired, but yeah, it's normal when you have 2 young kids.
And
ask Ilko.
And Harry, like you were sick a little bit.
Yeah, I had. I didn't have it as bad as Nienke. I did have like a sore throat. I had like the cold, you know, the smaller symptoms, shall we say? And at one point, when I knew I had it because, well, if Nienke's positive, then you know 1 and 1 is definitely 2. But then I definitely knew I had it at one point when I couldn't taste or smell anything, and that is literally one of the weirdest things you're ever going to experience. And we couldn't go anywhere. You know, we were literally just in lockdown. We couldn't do anything. I had to take care of Nienke as much as I possibly could whilst not feeling well myself, plus also take care of the 2 kids, plus take care of the whole house thing going on, you know.
Yeah, and Arnout actually really helped us.
Arnout was a massive saviour, yeah.
He cooked for us.
Which he loves to do.
He definitely loves to do, yeah.
We had the conspiracy theory going on that basically he made, like, somehow got you infected, so he knew you were in the house, always needing food, and he was the only one.
Yeah, but he cooked for us every day a different meal for 3 weeks. So
yeah, and that was shitty, by the way, because I couldn't taste it or smell it. I mean, I'm like, well,
really a good cook.
He's one of the best. I mean, you should check his Instagram out, the Tasty String, and you should seriously check out the amazing food he prepares. It's unbelievable. And when he said he sent me a message and he said, "Dude, how about I cook for you, you know, because that will save you a lot of time." And I said, "Yes, please do." And then I think literally the day after, I started losing all my senses and stuff. And he sent me a message that, like, "Hey, how was the food?" And I was like, "I don't know. I guess it was great, you know. I mean, it looks beautiful, so yeah, you know."
Yeah, but how is that? Like, you would bite something spicy and nothing would happen, or you feel a little bit of pain but no taste, or how is that?
Well, I mean, it's when you eat like pasta, spaghetti penna thingy or whatever, those oval whatever thing, I don't know what it is, those spaghetti sort of things, right? You bite in it, the structure, and you can sort of feel that you're biting the structure, but that's it. That's all. It's like you're eating paper.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, cardboard or paper or a stone. Yeah, well, yeah.
No, but it was also when there were some very nice days. So we were sitting in the garden, and then I used some sunblock.
Yeah, sunblock, suntan cream.
Sunblock. Yeah. So I was putting it on, and I thought, it is over datum.
Yeah, it's too old or something.
Yeah, it's too old, and maybe I have to throw it away because you don't smell anything. Because I had the symptoms earlier, of course, and then Harry said, "Oh, I really love the smell of holiday and the beach." Always when I use sunblock, I always think of holiday, and I was like, huh? And then I was smelling it. Yeah, and I couldn't smell anything. But later, when I got my smell back and Harry, lost it, he was playing with our son, and then suddenly he was crying all the time, and then Harry was constantly smelling if he pooped his diaper, but he thought, oh no, I don't smell anything. So
you didn't realize in the beginning.
Yeah, no idea. That was the thing. Like, I literally couldn't smell anything. It was good when I had to change the bins full of shitty nappies and everything, because I was just like, I don't care. I don't need to open a window because I don't smell anything anyway. But Nico at one point, she was like, "Crack a window, man, crack a window." I was like, oh, all right, I'll just crack a window. Yeah, I couldn't smell anything. It was. And it's just stupid. It's weird.
Oh, they could completely screw you over by feeding you something superly spicy.
Yeah.
And the only way you'd notice is the next day when it comes out again.
Yes.
How was it when it came back?
Yeah, thankfully, Arnout didn't do that. Yeah.
How was it when it came back? Like all of a sudden.
Nice. Really, really good.
It was. It's literally.
You really appreciate that you have this.
I started smelling shampoo as if I'd never smelt it before. Like, I'm standing in the shower just going like that the whole time. It's like, I love it. And everyone, if anyone saw that, they'd think I'd be weird. But anything, and then the tasting stuff. It's you're smelling and you're tasting food. You do appreciate it a lot more all of a sudden once you've lost it. And I think I had that issue for at least nearly 2 weeks or something.
You had it longer than I had.
I did. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think, 2.5 weeks. And at one point, I started to get a little bit nervous. I was like, "Is it ever going to come back?" And then of course, the second I started thinking that, the day after, it was like, bam, there it is, and it's just literally in one go. It's right back.
Really? He was actually like, "Oh, I can finally smell his diaper again."
Yeah, that was terrible.
Happy times.
Yeah. Yay. Yeah, that was a shame. But otherwise, I could smell food and taste food, and it was good that it came back. I was very, very happy with that. It was an old look thing.
But I'm really happy we're healthy, and I'm really happy that that Harry only had mild symptoms, because I'm so thankful that he took care of the three of us, and also that Arnout cooked for us.
Yeah,
it was really, really, I really appreciated all the help. And on those days, you really appreciate the people you have around you, because my mom also cooked for us, and Arne did all the groceries for us, and
Ruben and Valerie did that as well, didn't they? Other brother,
younger brother, did all the did a lot of groceries and cooked for us, and
his wife helped
and his
out.
wife.
Yeah.
It was just overwhelming that you beseft.
Realize.
Yeah, you realize that you have these important people around you, and you really need them at those times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds, what would you say to the people who take the whole COVID thing super lightly right now?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you get mild symptoms, and if you don't see more than that, I can really understand that you think of all these conspiracies and think it's not that bad. Because for a lot of people, it is not that bad. But for me, it was really bad. And, well, I lost two aunts. So, yeah, because of only COVID, they were healthy and they were young. One was in the 60s and one was only 70.
Just turned, yeah.
Yeah, and they only had diabetes type 2, but
that was it.
Yeah, they were healthy, and one was a grandmother of 7 kids, and yeah, it's really, really heavy to lose 2 ounces in only 2 weeks.
I'm very sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried exactly about that thing. Not that if I have severe symptoms or light symptoms, but that I, don't infect my mom, for example. Because she's, over 70 and, of course, in a group that, she has heart problems and stuff like this. So it's like, even if I have no symptoms, that's maybe the most problematic. Because then, we try to keep a distance, etc. But if you don't know that you're sick, you might infect others that might then suffer.
Yeah, that's quite a difficult situation if you're sure that you haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
Then if you think you've had it, it's still a bit of a risk really. But yeah, our advantage, if you want to call it that, is that we've had it. We can see certain people now.
Antibodies right now, but
yeah, that's it.
Still, we know the fire. There's a different version. In the winter, we have to
because everybody is inside. People are. I could edit this.
Cool.
If you have all the audio, and
yeah.
Okay.
What else do we have? Symptoms.
Okay, these are the tour phrases that I don't know, how would you call it? Yeah, we have some of the schneller. We had that also on the episodes.
Maybe just 1 second. Do you?
I can't see it. It's
wow.
Wasn't it the Nirvana Club? Yeah.
Oh. Hey.
The Nirvana Club. Yeah, cool. I remember that now. Thanks, Jan.
Alrighty.
Okay. Then see you guys next time. Till next week. And start Revolution Phoenix Ashes. Bye and out.